I just wanted to start with getting to know you guys first. So can you start with brief introduction, just your name, what you're doing, where in stage of medicine and life you guys are in. That'll be nice to, understand what I should start with. Okay. I see
Ma'am,
Shikhar first on my screen, so you can start.
yes, ma'am. I'm a general surgeon and I passed like in 23. I've done 1 year of SRship. Now I'm post 1 year, post MS. Currently looking for job opportunities in breast surgery.
So have you had any exposure to research? Have you
Yes,
done
ma'am.
anything like
I
research?
did I did my thesis on the topic evaluation of modified triple test for palpation or evaluation of palpable breast lumps.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So in low resource settings, like mammography is not available everywhere. So we wanted to use ultrasound as the first line investigation for screening also. And then we
Yeah,
compared it with histopathological outcome that we got to determine the accuracy. And earlier FNAC was used, now it's purely TrueCut.
yeah.
So we wish to replace mammography and FNAC with ultrasonography and TrueCut biopsy and publish the same.
Yeah. Did you publish it anywhere?
Yes, ma'am.
You did. Okay, that's good. So
But
already some
this
idea.
sample size was pretty small, 100 patients.
Yeah,
So basically, I was like looking for some introduction to this systemic review thing. And
yeah,
either I can pursue with my own thesis or maybe choose some different topic. But my
yeah.
primary area of interest will be breast surgery.
Research. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Actually, lot of potential. We get to it slowly. Yeah. Anyone else there would like an introduction? Is Rishi online now? You can all keep your videos on if possible, or just if you're outside walking around, that's okay. Just unmute yourself and just introduction, and then I could start talking about what I have to offer and what a systematic review is, and just talk more about what our classes are going to be like, right? That's what's in store for today. And then if you have questions, um you can always reach out. I'll just leave my email address and phone number. You can always reach out and ask me any question. That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to start with a small, very brief slide deck. It's not much. Just going to share a couple of slides. Okay. So basically, what is research? For most of us, being in medicine, I don't know, I'm assuming a lot of you are either doing your master's right now or have completed and are planning for competitive exams, for jobs, or some of you might be doing MCH because that's the kind of students we usually get. For most of us, research is a very far away thing. Like for me, when I was doing my PG, it was the same thing. I was my thesis, and then when I can maybe we work together. So it was a very, we should publish something. It was more of we must publish something because all the greats had done that before. But honestly, we did small case reports, case series, and we published stuff just to have our names on paper. And it was pretty silly at that time. It took a long time afterwards to get well versed in what research means and what we can do ourselves without having access to patients. One, when you have a good system like in India, we have a lot of patients in India. We see at least 100 to thousands, I would say, of each type of case. But in the US, where I'm right now, it doesn't really work like that. You see very few patients, but they have very good databases. So every hospital, every person, every institute will nicely document every single patient they see. And research can mean a lot of different things, not just patient leading research, but you can check those databases, get information, and then publish, right? So there are a lot of different types of research. And I see Shreya is online. Do you want to introduce yourself? Just what you're doing? Are you studying or? You have to unmute yourself first.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
I'm Shreyani Raula. I'm from Nepal. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
completed my PLAB 2. I'm a GMC registered doctor and currently seeking for the jobs at UK. That's it.
Oh, that's good. Have you had any exposure with research or anything so far?
Well, I was involved in the research in a tertiary care that basically tells about the prevalence of cholecystectomy in a tertiary care. But I was involved only in the data entry. That's it.
Oh, that's good. That's actually the hardest part of, research. Because
Yeah,
once that part is done and you extract everything, it's just writing, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, that's I would say the hard part. Okay, so let's just continue. If we have other people coming in, we'll break and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
let
so
me
sorry
know.
to interrupt you, but actually, this link was sent by one of my friends, so he wants it to be recorded. Is that possible if I could record or something like that? I'm not sure how to do it.
I think someone is recording it already. Like, the admin is already recording the session. Ankur, are we sending it to everyone this session? I'm not sure.
So
Uh,
how could he? Yeah,
I guess we will be sharing it now.
We'll be sharing it. Okay, fine. So anyone who's logged in right now will be getting the recording, and I guess we could, um, show it to your friend of your account or a friend of them. Yeah,
yeah,
but you'll be getting the sessions. Yeah,
thank you very much. Yeah,
no worries. So yeah, coming back to what I'm talking about. So technically, like actual definition of research is very simple, right up there. Systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. Basically, you either find something new, you reinvent something which is already established, or you upgrade information. The stage of medicine we are in now, a lot of stuff has already been found, a lot of things have been discovered, invented, and we're really upgrading our information. So when we practice medical science. I'm a surgeon too, so when we actually do things, we only follow what has been told to us, right? We follow surgery, we practice surgery on the basis of guidelines, on the basis of best practices, things which have been founded by someone, things which have been published by someone, or things which are in our textbook. Our textbooks are nothing but compilation of a lot of studies. When you see the end of every chapter, you see references and you'll see a vast number of RCTs or systematic reviews listed. So how do we find something or reinvent something so that one day, maybe 20 years later, 30 years later, what we have published or what we have found out is the new status quo or is the new gold standard for treatment later on, right? That is what our goal is. We want to change something ultimately patient related by finding something today. And what we do that is from finding out a lot of feedback from patients, right? So when Shikhar was telling an example, you're finding out pathological and radiographic evidence from a lot of breast cancer patients and saying that this is better than this. So ultimately, surgery A is better than surgery B, or intervention A is better than B, or drug A is better than drug B. Depends on the field of medicine you're in. So we're just going to find that out. Now, coming to what you guys were talking about, Shreya, what kind of was it? What kind of research was the thing you were
uh,
doing?
actually, it was a type of original article, maybe like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, okay. So that's where So you think that these original articles are usually cohort studies or case control studies? If you remember from your community medicine or SPM when you studied in your MBBS days, second year, third year, those are hard. Those are really hard to do because you have to enroll. Even your thesis, Shikhar, was one of them, right? You've enrolled 100 patients, you've done something, and
Mm.
you've tried to
Traumati
prove this is better than. Yeah,
traumatizing.
yeah, traumatizing. True, very true. But when you see something called levels of evidence, right? There are different levels of evidence. So if you see at the bottommost, that's in vitro research. So that is someone sitting in a lab, in a wet lab, trying out different techniques of hernia repair in mice, okay, or in rabbits, or cellular level, right? They're seeing cells, they're trying to grow microorganisms. That's actually the hardest thing you can do Honestly, if you've sat in a wet lab with pipettes and burettes and done a lot of things, it's the hardest thing. But unfortunately, when you publish that, that is very low level of evidence. So you can't say, hey, this guy in the best lab in the world found out that this molecule actually completely cures cancer. You can't go and bam, go and use it in a patient, right? It has to still pass so many levels of testing, so many clinical trials, and then you have to follow up long term, see how the adverse effects are, and only then are you going to actually put it in use in your patients. So that's kind of low level in vitro research and animal research. Then you get your expert opinions or textbooks, right? So if you're opening your textbooks and you can't just say, "The Sabiston told me I should do this," or "Harrison said I should do that." That is a lower level of evidence, right? But that's what we follow as med students, unfortunately. Next, you have the case reports and series. I think all of you as doctors, you would have seen interesting cases, very unique cases, or, extremely rare, disorders. And you would have thought, oh, this would be a good case report to publish. A lot of us being in the countries that we are from and having teachers who are already busy, right? They're already in busy hospitals, seeing a lot of patients, have a lot of work. They would only be able to guide us this far. And that's where our levels of evidence are very low. Next is your case control and cohort studies. Case control is you give an exposure and then you study for an effect. So you do ultrasound and you detect breast cancer at whatever level, and then you find out, yes, that was breast cancer in the biopsy, right? That would be a case control study. You go see all breast cancer patients, go back, study when the biopsy was done, when an ultrasound was done, what was the time lag, and find out whether it helped in survival benefit by doing an early ultrasound. Those kind of studies would be a cohort study, right? So you have the patients, you have the disease, and then you try to find out how you can better help that disease. That is a cohort study. Again, this is also low evidence. When you do an RCT, that's considered a good study. So if I can enroll, say, 1,000 patients in a good randomized controlled trial, but then a lot of issues come up here. You need to be in a good hospital. You need to have an ethical committee, ethical review done, should be accepted. You have to blind your patients, blind yourself. So most of the times, the good, the top studies published, you do not have, the same person who's doing the surgery should not be the person who's analyzing the data and should not be the person who's also publishing and writing. These have to be separate people. You have to blind them. And the patient should not know what kind of intervention they're getting. They could be getting a placebo, they could be getting the proper intervention. That is an RCT. So again, very complicated, a lot of, red tape, a lot of people should be involved, and you have to get a good ethical committee clearance for this. What we can do, if you notice on the top, right? Meta-analysis and systematic review. The difference between these two is very narrow. A systematic review and MA are considered equivalent. The difference is just your data, right? So you present data with numbers is your meta-analysis, and you present data qualitatively, not quantitatively, is a systematic review, right? So if you have a statistician at hand who can nicely calculate statistics, you can calculate all the data of your SR and make it an MA. It takes a lot of effort, and the issue is you have to make a lot of graphs. It can be done. It's not hard. It's very easy, but you have a more strenuous process. It will take longer than a systematic review. But what you notice is they sit at the top of the pyramid. So if I can tell that a systematic review exists, okay, using 10 studies, right? 10 trials, one published in China, one from the US, one from Norway, one from India, all having, say, 200 patients each. And they all say that this surgery really helps this thing, or, that has a better, faster recovery and lesser rate of some complication, then that holds more evidence than any one of those single studies, right? Any one study with 100 patients in Finland is not good enough proof as a systematic review of 10 to 20 studies done across countries, right? So that is what our goal is when we do a systematic review. We find out more definitive evidence. Alternatively, it can also be like this. Now, Shikhar does did an RCT and he's found out that drug A is awesome. It's very well effective and it has very less adverse effects in the 100 patients studied. And then Shreya did a study in her country that she studied 200 patients. She found that it works, but it has a lot of adverse effects, which Shikhar did not see. Now, how do I know whether he's right or she's right, right? So you source all the studies done about that drug A and you try to combine the outcomes. Instead of having outcomes about 100 patients, you can have outcome about 10,000 patients, and that can give you a more definitive, response. You can have maybe racial factors, you can have gender factors, which will alter your findings and studies, which should be more obvious when you include more studies, right? The advantage about systematic review and meta-analysis is, one, you don't need a hospital and you don't need patients right now. All your data is online. All your data, all your research, all the database is online. All you need is a computer, an Excel sheet, and your brain to do a systematic review. The hard part, there is a hard part, is you have to be very meticulous. You have to be very perfect, and you have to know how to do a literature review perfectly. So it is not just searching, cholecystectomy or rate of, calculi formation in this on a Google search. There is a proper scientific way to do a literature search, a literature review, find out all the articles ever published on a topic and how to glance through every one of them to find, your complete data set. So that is what our classes will be about. This is like a very brief introduction to what we will discuss later on. Okay. So what would be our course objectives if you choose to join? That is, so one is to have a basic understanding of research. So we will have a couple of classes which are very didactic based, which will be, theory about this research, that research, different types, just so that in future, if you do different types of research, you'll have an idea about them, right? It's not just we'll do this systematic review. So you learn about different types and components of research papers, how to screen research papers to know which is good and which is bad, and how to select your favorite topic, a topic you love, right? Next would be to write a research paper, of course. The main objective of this course is for you to write your own paper, for you to be able to publish it as a first author, right? So you're not working for someone else, you're working on your favorite topic, something you love, something you enjoy, and you will be the first author. And then we also team students into groups of 3 or 4, or sometimes, more, depending on how many students we have, so that you collaborate with each other. And suppose, A, B, and C are in a group. So A will have a paper as first author, but will also help B and C. So you gain additional papers as a second and potential third author. So that's what we always do, so that you get more publications out of this. Okay. And then obviously independently publish papers in future. I'm going to stop sharing. So this is all like what we generally do. We have 8 to 10 classes. It's not fixed. It's not that, 8 classes, 8 Saturdays, and we're done. No, we have 2 hour sessions on every Saturday or Sunday, depending on when most of the students are free. I know you have a lot of clinical duties and other stuff, competitive exams to study for. So if anything major is coming, we also can take a week off or so in the middle. And we also go according to the pace of the students. So if we find that it's too fast, we'll slow down a bit. If we feel it's too slow, we'll fasten up a bit. Really depends, It's a very informal class. Yeah, and the most important thing is it requires a lot of work. So the class is 2 hours, but you'll have to go back and work on it. You'll have to do some assignments and you'll have to discuss almost throughout the week with me. So you'll have access to like WhatsApp and full-time questions. Whatever questions you ask, I'll answer within 12 hours, and you'll get assignments. You'll know how to write papers. You'll know how to improve grammar for writing, not only just the research part, but also writing and publishing good papers. The first systematic review is very hard. It takes 2 months to just get into gear, to select something you love, takes 2 months. But once you keep doing it, like I think I can do a systematic review in a week now. So yeah, the first one took 4 months for me, very honest. It's hard. It's very hard. So we'll go according to the pace which is convenient to you. We've had previous students who have, published a year after the class, not then and there. We've had students who come up with a paper but didn't like their topic and then decided not to publish it, but then went ahead and did more research, was still in touch, and then they published that using the skills from the class. We've also had students who've loved everything, done it, super fast, finished all the assignments that week, and managed to publish within 3 months, like much faster than what I did when I started learning this 6 years back. So we have all kinds of, pace. So we'll try to cater to each of you individually, and we'll make groups with like-minded people. So it's also a great opportunity to collaborate and meet other people. We'll try to have like similar topics in one group or similar fields in one group, something like that. So that was like very brief introduction to what we're planning in these classes, to choose to join. If you have any questions, like I'm open for questions right now, or otherwise, I believe Suprabha will also reach out to you for questions. And if you want to join one more session with questions, that's fine. Whatever you guys like. Any doubts you have about the classes, about research right now, yeah, open to them.
Ma'am, like apart from the 2 hour classes, so how much time do we really have to like dedicate to it, considering that we'll all be working and then
Yeah. So
so
I would say another 2 hours at least a week.
a week.
A week. Yes.
That means like 4 hours weekly.
Yeah. The other 2 hours won't be a class. You won't be doing it all together. It will be you at your pace whenever you want. You'll be submitting the assignments to me once I read it. Like first week would be how to select a topic. I'm just giving you a broad outline. First week would be how to select a good topic. So how to come to a good topic, not just what we like. There's a very scientific way to come up with a good topic, which I'll teach in the first class. So we can see all that, and then you'll come back to me with potential 10, 15 topics, and I'll do my own research to see if they are good or they have hold any value, because you might like a topic, but if it's already been researched a lot, you're not going to manage to publish on it, right? If it's already been searched and there are 100 papers, or if the top 10 journals have published articles on the same topic this year, then I'm going to publish you again, right? So that would be the work for week one. For week two would be how to do a literature review. So if you tell me, if you understand the class and you start the topic, then we'll go back and forth with some text, or a brief call, video call, audio call, so that we know that you're on the right track. So like I said, it really depends on how much you devote yourself to this, right? Yeah.
So we can do it independently, or we'll be needing the help of the institute. Uh, like it will be
You
like
will be doing it independently. You do not need any other teachers. You do not need patients, and you do not need your medical college or hospital or anything. It's just you, a laptop, and an Excel sheet. Like I said, just these three things.
so you will teach us about the statistical part also?
So I'm doing a systematic review part, not the meta-analysis. That's the part now. A
Okay.
meta-analysis we can discuss personally about, not as part of the classes, but I can help you with the meta-analysis part if your paper is suitable for a meta-analysis. Not every paper is suitable.
Yeah.
That's the issue with it. If we find something quantitative in your paper where we can give, percentages or we get a p-value, then yes, I'll help you.
So
But
basically,
full
like
disclosure, I am self-taught on the meta-analysis part. I don't do that as a full-time job right now. So that would be extra. That would be just a personal thing, not for the entire class. Like,
of course.
I'm not saying I'm going to charge you or anything. I will do it with you. I will discuss it with you, but it would be over text, not over like a proper class for everyone. Yeah.
So ma'am, like in a nutshell, it will be the studies that have already been done. We will be reviewing them and then
Yes.
preparing a paper out of these. So basically, we don't need
We don't
statistical
need it.
part.
Exactly.
Okay. And then the
We
final outcome that will be combined of all the things that we have.
combined from all research papers, yes. And fortunately or unfortunately, this is considered better research. So these get published more easily. And you get something called an H index every time you publish. Like every time you publish a paper and you go and search that author's name on, say, Google Scholar, you'll get a citation and an H index, which shows how much the person has published. So a cohort study and an RCT carries some level of points you get for every publication. A systematic review gives you more points. So generally they say a professor should have 40 H index to become a professor. In the US, they follow this kind of thing. An associate professor will have at least 30 or 20 H index. So that it shows how far you are in your career, your H index, and systematic reviews help you get that points faster. So yeah,
La
your other question about statistics, that you can only find out when you are more than halfway into your systematic review, whether you can do statistics or not. That is the issue with this. So you cannot decide beforehand whether you're going to do a meta-analysis or a systematic review. It really depends on where you end. Like I would say about fourth or fifth class in. Out of 8 to 9 classes, you'll only know after fourth or fifth whether you're going to do a MA or SR, unfortunately.
Last one, ma'am. Will you also
Sure.
help us in getting it published?
Yes. Getting in pub. I won't be helping you saying, oh, this is done in this journal. I'll help you find the perfect journal for you to publish in and how to author your paper for that journal, how to make the points for that journal and send it to them. I'll also be a co-author on your paper. I'll be the last author, not nowhere in the first part. You and your teammates will be the first few authors. And yeah, we'll do our best to get it published. The thing about publication is if you select a good topic, it's very easy to publish. So in the last batch, we've had publications in top 50 journals and very good index journals. So our goal is to get a PubMed index. That is like the gold standard for a publication. So if you manage to get a PubMed index journal, be it from any country, any part of the world, I'm happy. I'm very happy for you and for me. So yeah. That's where I stand. Any other questions, Shreya, if you have any questions? Any of the other students, if you have any questions? If you feel like you want to reach out to me, I'll just leave you my phone number in the chat box. Okay. Please don't share it to everyone. This is my personal number, not my work number. So only for you guys. Yeah. Any other questions, you can reach out to me anytime. And I'll try my best to answer them. We just finished a batch a couple of months back. It was small batch, and 2 people have finished their manuscripts. We are in the process of sending it to different, places to get it published. That's the thing.
What is
One
the
person chose to take all the knowledge and not do work right now because they were busy with MCH entrance exams and everything, and then they said they'll get back. So it works both ways. It really depends on how free you are or, how dedicated you are. Yeah. Full disclosure. Like, I'm not going to say, oh no, we'll get this done and, it's going to be the best class. It requires a lot of work. It's not easy.
But like in a couple of months, we'll be able to be
Yes,
dedicatedly work.
Yes. So most of our, like Shreya said, a lot of our previous students were actually MRCS candidates and people who've gone to the US or UK. I think a lot of them have published in very good journals, so no issues there. Also, a lot of them happen to be surgeons, so yeah. And we'll also try, like, if there is something I'm not able to mentor you on perfectly, we'll also try to reach out to, other teachers, other professors we know who can help you on topics. Suppose, this, I'm not very good at cardiology, for example. I'll try to get in touch with some other cardiologists who can help you with ideas for your paper, so on. Things I know well about, sure. I do mostly breast research and GI research, by the way. So, yeah, those things I'd be able to guide you myself. This is for week 1 I'm talking about. After that, it's pure research. So yeah, that's where.
Means we can have our topic of choosing. That is something.
Yeah, of course. This is not a, like your thesis, you have to do it on this topic, not. This is your thing. This is completely your thing, and I'm only here to mentor and guide you and teach you stuff. So it'll be a lot of teaching and then free to do what you want. The only place it's happened only once that I've told that this topic is not good and it's not, going to go anywhere because it's a very beaten topic. Means that's the only time I'd say no. Yeah. Introduction about myself, I guess I should have started with that. My name is Chetna. I am also a surgeon. I finished surgery in 2019 in Madras Medical College in Chennai. I am now in the US. I just did a small short fellowship in Mayo Clinic, and I'm doing a research job right now. Hopefully, I'll join back into the clinical side later this year. So that's where I stand right now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Any other questions? Feel free to hit me. All of
Hi, I'm
you.
just quite new to this. Is this the first session?
Yes,
Oh,
this was an
okay.
introductory session to the potential classes. So
Mm-hmm.
we are hoping to start classes from 15th of this month.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
this was an introduction to those classes, what we'll be doing. So Prabha will would have sent you a full brochure with what each class, is about. There are 8 sessions
Mm-hmm.
in the future, and what we do in each class, what we learn in each class, and what you'll accomplish by the end of it. So this was
Mm-hmm.
just an introduction to why you should do a systematic review and what I would offer to you in these classes. That was what this was about. If you're interested in the classes, feel free to join. We'll start them. I think 18th July would be the first class. And after that, it would be like every Saturday if everyone is available at that time. And they're mostly at this time, 6 to 8 p.m., because that's hopefully when most of us finish our work here. And it's also like early morning for me in the US. So that's also good
Timing
for
can
me.
be a little bit flexible, no?
Yes, timing can be flexible, but not too late.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, not before 6, not before 6 anytime,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
later is fine. Okay.
Like most of when the work will end, most of us will be free then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the classes are very informal. Like we go according to majority. If a lot of students tell me, like, see, this exam is coming up, or this interview session is coming up, or I have these classes, then we postpone classes by a week. If you say that I can't attend today's class and everybody else can, we'll have the class, but you get every recorded session. And once you see the session, you can come up for a follow-up questions, a call, a meeting with me anytime, any day, according to your convenience,
Yeah, thank you very
as
much.
long as I'm awake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Fine.
so much, ma'am.
Nice meeting you. Someone just sent a text. Will all the classes be on Saturday? Okay, let me answer these questions. Niveda asks, may I know what value it holds when you apply for jobs in the UK after completing MRCS? Honestly, this question is, I could answer this question from old candidates who have finished MRCS and then got a job in UK. My top 3 students, I shouldn't say that, but they published in very good journals. I can share the link with you guys. I can ask Suprabha to share the link too. They all said that they needed publications for getting the job. That is why they joined. And all 3 of them are now working in the UK. They're all surgeons. One of them is giving interviews for ST right now. So that's what I know about. For me in the US, yes, research was very important to get a job, definitely. Now, I have been told that it's equally important in the UK as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for mostly for entering specialty training later, if you want to, this is what will hold value. Just for you to have, you know, an introduction to research helps. And any publication to your name always adds value. If you're able to search your name in Google Scholar and you get some publications, that's what really matters in your CV. That's what we have in our CV in the US. Till I was in India, we did not have that on our CV much. But now, at the end of our entire CV, always have every publication we've ever published. Yeah. So that's question 1. Will all the classes be on Saturday? All the classes will be on Saturday or Sunday. True. Yes. Because, yeah, they will be on Saturday and Sunday because I think that's more available than weekdays. 1. It's also more convenient for me. If there is, if we have a lot of students who want some other day, maybe we can consider it. I don't know. That really depends on who enrolls. But yes, mostly are on Saturday, Sunday. Oh, Siddhi is there. Yeah, good to see you too. Don't know why I can't see you there. But hi, Siddhi. Hey, hi. Neither.
Hi, ma'am. How are
Preparing.
you?
Yeah, good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing surgical gastro, ma'am.
SG, you're doing?
I
Okay,
didn't
that's
expect
good.
you. Yeah.
You didn't expect that I am taking this class?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'll talk to you after the class is
Yeah,
done
sure,
then.
man. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. If we're preparing for super special, is it possible to pause when we are what we're doing for people? Oh yes. So this is a very important question Niveda has asked, or is it Durai Niveda? Yes. So I always say, I'm sorry, I should have included it. You're with me for the rest of your life once you do this class. Anytime you need help to start, to restart, to do any other research project, any question, any doubt, you want me to proofread any of your research papers, you want me to help you with any research, I will not write your paper for you. But apart from that, anything else, yes. If you want to pause this particular class and say that I'll attend all your classes, I'll do half of my paper now, and then I'll get back to it 4 months later, again, it's a big yes. We actually have one past student, female student, who took a break of 1 year and came back and published the same work she had done 1 year back. So, big yes to that. I'm still in contact with all those students. We still talk to each other. We still collaborate with each other. So definite yes. It's not a just 8 week thing and done and I won't see you again. We will always, help each other. Yeah. Any other questions? Like you can hit me on that number on WhatsApp. I won't be able to reply on direct text, and sometimes I may be late, but I get back to you within 6 to 12 hours. Yeah. So any questions, reach out. Okay. So nice meeting all of you. We'll get back. And if you have any questions and you want to reach out and have another introductory session, also good with that. Okay. See you guys. Bye.